The Tide Pod Challenge, 2018. They looked like candy, bright, colorful, almost inviting. But the Tide Pod Challenge wasn't a game. Teens dared each other to bite into laundry detergent pods and post it online. In Utah, a 19-year-old accepted the dare. Within moments of swallowing, he collapsed. His body convulsed in violent seizures. His throat and mouth burned, and his lungs filled with foam. Paramedics rushed him to the hospital, where doctors fought to stabilize him. He survived, but his close call highlighted the true cost of what had been treated as a joke. The case was one of dozens reported during the height of the trend. Poison control centers across the U.S. saw a surge of calls. The company behind Tide Pods, Procter & Gamble, scrambled to redesign packaging, adding stronger warnings and child-proof features. The Cinnamon Challenge, 2012. One spoon, one spice, millions of views. The Cinnamon Challenge swept YouTube as teens dared each other to swallow a spoonful of cinnamon without water. For a Michigan teen, the dare turned to disaster. The moment she tipped the powder into her mouth, she began coughing violently. The fine dust shot into her lungs, burning and scarring delicate tissue. Doctors diagnosed her with aspiration pneumonia, a condition that could leave permanent damage. Medical experts warned that cinnamon particles could inflame the lungs, cause infections, and even trigger suffocation. But by then, the videos had already gone viral. Thousands attempted the challenge, laughing through the pain, not realizing the risks. The Bird Box Challenge, 2018 to 2019. It started with a movie. Netflix's Bird Box showed a world where people blindfolded themselves to survive. Fans decided to turn fiction into reality, and the Bird Box Challenge was born. Across social media, people covered their eyes and tried to walk, cook, and even drive. In Utah, one woman took it too far. Blindfolded behind the wheel, she veered off the road and crashed into a snowbank. She survived with minor injuries, but the headlines spread like wildfire. Netflix itself stepped in, issuing a plea: "Please don't hurt yourselves with this challenge." The Benadryl Challenge, 2020. It began on TikTok, teens daring each other to take dangerous doses of Benadryl to hallucinate. In Oklahoma, a 15-year-old girl swallowed 14 tablets. At first, she laughed, waiting for the effects. But within minutes, her heart raced out of control. She collapsed in cardiac arrest. Doctors worked frantically to restart her heart, and she survived barely. Her case sparked national warnings. Johnson & Johnson, the makers of Benadryl, reminded the world that the drug was never meant to be abused. TikTok banned the videos, but not before countless teens had tried the stunt themselves. The Fire Challenge, 2014. It was one of the most reckless stunts the internet had ever seen. Teens doused themselves in flammable liquid, lit a match, and hoped they could put out the flames before disaster struck. In Kentucky, a 12-year-old boy tried it. At first, his friends laughed as the fire spread across his skin, but the flames moved faster than expected, engulfing his chest and arms. By the time adults rushed in with water and towels, it was too late. Nearly 40% of his body was burned. He survived, but only after months of surgeries and skin grafts. His scars told the story that his viral video never could. Firefighters across the country issued urgent warnings, and hospitals reported a surge of similar cases. The Skullbreaker Challenge, 2020. It looked like a prank. Two people invited a friend to jump and kicked their legs midair, sending them crashing backward. They called it the Skullbreaker Challenge. In Florida, a teenager tried it with classmates. The moment his legs were swept out, his head slammed against the hard ground. His skull fractured. He convulsed in seizures as terrified students called for help. Doctors warned his parents that he was lucky to survive. Across the world, other teens weren't so fortunate, suffering concussions and brain trauma. Schools and hospitals quickly raised the alarm, calling the stunt one of the most dangerous online trends in years. The Kylie Lip Challenge, 2015. To copy Kylie Jenner's famous pout, teens used shot glasses to suction their lips until they swelled. For a few minutes, it worked. Exaggerated, cartoonish lips, perfect for selfies. But in Britain, one girl's attempt went horribly wrong. The suction shattered the glass, cutting her skin and bruising her mouth. Soon, her lips turned purple and ballooned with painful swelling. She was rushed to doctors, who warned she could have been left permanently disfigured. Experts cautioned that the stunt could cause nerve damage, scarring, and long-term injuries. But by the time the warning spread, the videos had already gone viral. The Salt and Ice Challenge, 2012 to 2013. It sounded simple. Pour salt on your skin, press an ice cube on top, and see how long you could endure the sting. But in England, a 12-year-old boy pushed too far. He held the mixture against his arm, laughing through the pain, until the skin blistered and burned. When the ice was pulled away, second-degree burns covered his arm. Doctors later warned the scars could last for life. The chemical reaction created freezing temperatures that rivaled frostbite. For some, it left nerve damage. For others, permanent scarring. The Outlet Challenge, 2019. It began as a schoolyard stunt. Teens would half-plug a phone charger into an outlet, then drop a coin on the exposed prongs. The result? Sparks, smoke, and sometimes fire. In Massachusetts, one high schooler tried it in class. The coin slipped, metal met electricity, and in a flash, the outlet exploded. Flames scorched the wall, alarms rang, and smoke filled the hallway. The boy was left with painful burns across his hands. Firefighters warned that the challenge wasn't just dangerous. It could burn down an entire building. Schools scrambled to ban chargers from classrooms, while police issued statements reminding students that what looked like a harmless prank was actually arson. The Eraser Challenge, 2017. It spread through schools like wildfire. Kids would rub erasers against their skin while reciting the alphabet, seeing who could endure the longest. In California, a middle schooler pushed too far. His arm was raw and blistered, but instead of healing, the wound swelled with infection. Doctors were forced to treat him before it spread further. A simple game had nearly poisoned his blood. Health experts warned about nerve damage, scarring, and permanent injuries. Teachers tried to crack down, but the trend thrived in secrecy, fueled by photos and dares online. The Duct Tape Challenge, 2016. The setup was simple. Tape someone to a chair or pole, hit record, and watch them struggle to break free. In Washington, a 14-year-old boy was wrapped tightly against a pole. As he fought to escape, he lost his balance and crashed backward. His head struck the ground with terrifying force. Rushed to the hospital, he was placed in a medically induced coma after suffering severe brain trauma. His family never saw it coming. What seemed like harmless fun turned into a fight for survival. Parents and schools begged teens to stop, but videos continued spreading online. The One Chip Challenge, 2022. It was marketed as the ultimate test of toughness. Eat a single chip dusted with Carolina Reaper and Naga Viper peppers, two of the hottest in the world. In Texas, a teenager accepted the dare. Minutes later, his body was in agony. He doubled over, vomiting uncontrollably, his stomach twisting in pain. Rushed to the ER, doctors treated him for dehydration and severe irritation to his digestive tract. Warnings on the packaging made clear it wasn't for children, but that didn't stop the trend from spreading. Across the country, teens collapsed from the overwhelming heat, some even passing out. The Dry Scooping Challenge, 2021. It looked like a fitness hack. Instead of mixing pre-workout powder with water, teens and gym-goers swallowed it straight. They called it dry scooping. In Florida, a college athlete tried it before hitting the gym. Within minutes, his chest tightened. His heart pounded erratically, and he collapsed mid-workout. Doctors discovered he had overdosed on caffeine and stimulants, triggering a heart attack. He was lucky to survive. Health experts warned that dry scooping could cause seizures, strokes, or sudden cardiac arrest. But the trend kept growing, fueled by TikTok clips of athletes pretending to power through the burn. The Milk Crate Challenge, 2021. It looked like playground fun. Stack milk crates into a pyramid, climb to the top, and make it down without falling. In Australia, one man tried. He made it halfway, before the crates wobbled and buckled. He toppled from the peak, landing hard on concrete. The fall shattered his ankle and wrist, leaving him screaming in pain. Videos of brutal falls went viral worldwide. Doctors warned of broken bones, concussions, and even spinal injuries. Grocery stores began locking up crates to prevent more attempts. The Kiki Challenge, 2018. It started with the song. Drake's In My Feelings had fans leaping out of moving cars, dancing beside them, and then jumping back in. In Illinois, a young woman tried it. As she danced, another car struck her. She crumpled to the pavement with serious injuries. She survived, but only after a long recovery. Police departments worldwide issued warnings. Some states even considered legal action against reckless drivers. What seemed like harmless fun turned highways into hazards. The Condom Snorting Challenge, 2018. It was one of the strangest trends to ever sweep the internet. Teens filmed themselves snorting condoms through their nose and pulling them out of their mouth, all for shock value and views. In Texas, one teenager tried it. At first, his friends laughed as the camera rolled. But then, the condom slipped too far. It slid down his throat and blocked his airway. Suddenly, laughter turned to panic. He clutched his neck, his body collapsing as he fought for breath. Paramedics arrived in time, working frantically to dislodge the condom before suffocation became permanent. He survived, but only by seconds. Doctors warned that the risks went far beyond choking. Nasal infections, lung damage, even death. Platforms began taking down videos, but not before the challenge had left its mark.